You are scrolling through your feed. You see like after like and comment after comment. Each notification gives you a tiny rush. Feels good, doesn't it? But deep down, something's off. You're chasing approval, and it's exhausting. Today, we're cutting the cord. No more seeking validation. It's time to thrive in silence. We are going to dive into how you can reclaim your peace and start flourishing on your own terms. The invisible chains of approval. From the moment we are born, we start seeking approval from others. Parents smile when we behave. Teachers praise us for the right answers. We quickly learn that approval equals happiness. Then, over time, that need for validation becomes an invisible leash that pulls us in every direction and guides every move. Think about high school, how hard you tried to fit in, wear the right clothes, say the right things to be part of the crowd, but at what cost? You muted your voice, dimmed your light, and traded authenticity for approval. This instinct isn't new. In the animal kingdom, survival depends on the pack. For early humans, belonging to the tribe meant safety, and exile meant death. But we're no longer living in the wild, and lions aren't hiding in the bushes. We still act like every social interaction is life or death. Social media has only made it worse. Every post is a performance. Every selfie a silent beg. Like me. Validate me. The irony is the more we chase that validation, the more it controls us, and we're stuck in a cycle of never-ending craving. It's a thirst that can never be satisfied, one that keeps us bound to others' opinions instead of finding freedom in our own self. The spotlight illusion. All of us walk around feeling like we are under a spotlight all the time. Every mistake seems magnified, every flaw is exposed, and every move scrutinized. But here's the truth. People aren't thinking about you as much as you think they are. They're too busy worrying about themselves. Everyone is wrapped up in their own lives and insecurities. Psychologists call this the spotlight effect. It's the tendency to overestimate how much others notice our actions, our mistakes, or even our appearance. Think about the last time you spilled coffee on your shirt. You felt embarrassed. You assume everyone around you noticed your mistake and are judging you. But in reality, no one cared, and most people didn't even notice. This illusion keeps us trapped. We start living our lives to please an imaginary audience. We start making decisions based on what we think others expect or approve of. We filter our personalities, adjust our choices, and hide parts of ourselves to meet standards no one is actually enforcing. Now imagine the freedom when you realize the spotlight isn't real. When you step out of its imaginary beam, you can let go of the fear and pressure that's been holding you back. You can be yourself without constantly wondering what others think of you. The truth is, people are less focused on your flaws than you think. They're busy dealing with their own. When you get this, you can stop living as a performer on a stage you never signed up for. When you step out of the spotlight, you step into a life that's real, unedited, and yours. The weight of approval lifts, and with it comes the freedom to be yourself unapologetically. The heavy cost of seeking validation. Chasing validation isn't harmless. It comes with a big cost. It affects your self-worth deeply. You start to base your value on others' opinions. When people like you, you feel good. When they don't, you feel bad and small. Seeking approval also stifles your authenticity. You stop being yourself. You start being what others want to see. Over time, your real self fades. You lose the parts of you that make you unique. This constant effort drains your energy. Trying to fit in all the time is exhausting. The truth is that we always perform for others in some way. We always adjust our expectations, modify our behavior, and curtail pursuit of our dreams to meet other people's expectations. The performance never really ends. Think of celebrities who lose themselves in fame. They become products of public opinion. They stop being real people in the process. Think of the coworker who agrees with everyone. They never voice their own opinions. They blend into the background without standing out. Living for approval is living half a life. It takes away your freedom to be yourself. It leaves you feeling empty and unfulfilled. It's time to get back the part of you that's been lost. The myth of perfection. Society sells us perfection. It promises flawless looks. It promises perfect relationships. It tells us we need to have super successful careers and lead picture-perfect lives. This belief, which was drilled and conditioned into us, is believed by us without questioning. We try hard to live up to these standards. We edit our photos to look better. We curate profiles to match the image of perfection. But perfection is not real. It's an illusion to keep us striving. It's impossible to achieve no matter how hard we try. Chasing it only brings frustration and disappointment. Social media influencers sell this illusion. They show us perfect lives to their followers, but behind the scenes they're stressed and burnt out. They struggle to maintain their image. The pursuit of perfection is a trap. It keeps us running towards something we can never reach. Accepting your imperfections is liberating. It reminds you that being human is enough. It allows you to feel real and authentic. It frees you from the impossible standards of perfection. The courage to be disliked. One of the biggest obstacles that stop us from doing what we want is the fear of being disliked. We hold back on doing what we want to do because we don't want people to criticize us. But the truth is more complicated than we would like to admit. Whatever you do, not everyone will like you, and that's okay. Criticism is inevitable. Haters gonna hate. If you are a friend to everybody, you are an enemy of yourself. When you accept that, you're free. You stop worrying about what others think and start focusing on what matters to you. History is full of people who did that. Think of Rosa Parks, who refused to give up her seat on the bus. She knew it would get her criticism and even hostility, but she stood firm in her beliefs. Her courage sparked a movement that changed history. Being okay with disapproval doesn't mean you have to fight with everyone. It just means believing in yourself and what you stand for. When you accept that not everyone will agree with you, it stops controlling you. You realize it's more important to be yourself than to please everyone. Breaking free from the puppet masters. Sometimes some specific people hold us back. They might be parents, friends, or partners. Their expectations become chains that stop us from living our own lives. We can call these people our puppet masters. They pull the strings of our lives and control us when we make choices to please them. We even begin to shape our own lives to avoid their disappointment. Their approval feels necessary, but it comes at a cost. Living someone else's life leads to regret. You lose sight of your own dreams and desires. Instead of pursuing your passions, you follow a path that was never yours. Look around you and see who in your life is controlling you. Cut those strings of control to taste freedom. When you stop living for others, you start living for yourself. The liberation of letting go. Bronnie Ware, a nurse who worked with the dying, asked them what their greatest regret was in their last moments. The most common answer was, they wished they'd had the courage to live their life as themselves, not as others expected of them. This is the norm for most people. Each decision of theirs is a result of trying to please someone else. The reward for letting go from the need for external validation is a life of authenticity and freedom. It's only then that you can start making choices that reflect your own values and not the preferences of others. The stress of trying to please everyone disappears and joy takes over. You become stronger and more resilient. You are no longer rocked by criticism or disapproval. Imagine turning down a high-paying job offer because it doesn't align with your passion. You feel free, even if others don't get why you did what you did. Imagine wearing an outfit which you think reflects your personality, but others think is weird. When you have actually mastered letting go, you stop looking for approval and you start following your own values. And you wear that outfit. Even if it looks unconventional, you will still wear it because that's who you are. Freedom comes when you stop seeking approval and follow your values. The key to thriving in silence. Silence is where you meet yourself. In the quiet, you finally hear your own thoughts without the noise of others' opinions. Letting go of validation clears the path for this inner connection. When you stop seeking approval from the outside world, you start listening inside. Henry David Thoreau went to the woods to get away from society. In silence, he found clarity and wrote Walden, a book on simple living. Like Thoreau, silence allows you to strip away distractions and get back to yourself. Letting go of validation gives you the freedom to thrive. Silence becomes your sanctuary, where you can grow, create, and live authentically. Stop seeking approval, and you will find the way to flourish in solitude. Your journey is yours alone. Walk it with confidence. Thank you for joining me. Now, embrace the silence and live your truth.